What's good, YouTube? It's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and welcome to another beat making video. Today we're going to put together a beat for the Jackboys album. A lot of crazy songs on that one. Just want to make a beat in that style. Recently, Sample Chefs sent over this kit, Canary Julz MIDI Collection Volume 2. I was just cycling through some of the MIDI there, and I found this really crazy melody that could really fit this sort of vibe that I'm going for. Now, in these MIDI collections from Canary Julz, you get full melodies, drum patterns in a MIDI style format. You get chord progressions for pretty much every scale you're going to need. But I'm going to just hyper zoom in onto the melody that I'm going to use for this tutorial. We're going to go to MIDI full melodies. We're going to go to sad melodic and melodic melodies. We're going to go to the C sharp minor scale. And I'm going to bring in this one right over here. As I was cycling through them, just want to sort of see what this pack contained. And this one just jumped right out at me. And I figured, you know what? This is a perfect Jackboys type of melody. All right, so we're going to take that pattern and then flip it into a whole beat. And we're just going to go ahead and build off of this melody over here. So we're going to close this up. And for this sound, I was thinking I'm going to bring in sort of like a Travis Scott guitar. And I have a preset that will work just perfectly for this. So I'm going to go to one of my presets here. It's the Travis Scott guitar. It's going off my screen here. And we get something like this. That's a little bit slow, so I'm going to speed it up to about 140 beats per minute. All right, so let's go ahead and just make this more of like a Travis Scott type of vibe to it, like a Jackboys type of guitar. I'm just going to go ahead and take out a little bit of the low end here. So we save some room for our 808 that we'll ultimately bring in. Next, I'm going to go ahead and bring in a plugin. It is a third-party plugin by Baby Audio, and I've just been using this a lot since I got it. I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the magic on this guitar here. Kind of gives that wishy-washy sound. I'm going to pull up the drift to add in some detuning between the notes. Maybe I'll pull up the heat a bit. I'm going to add in some reverb by pulling up the wash. You just got really this crazy bounce. Really hard, but kind of soft at the same time. I'm going to pull up the static a little bit. Actually, I'll pull that up at the end because I don't want it to sort of mess up the whole remake because you're going to hear that static the whole time. So I'm going to leave that down for now, just hopefully have a reminder for myself to pull that back up. But we're going to start off with this sound right here. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And I'm going to copy down this MIDI pattern, and we're going to bring in a pad sound to layer this up. So for this sound, I also have another preset I'm just going to pull in. It's going to be, I think it was the Drake pad I want to use. Here it is right here, the Drake pad. And it's going to sound like this. Sort of like an organ sound, which it is an organ sound, just kind of filtered out. But we're not going to use the same melody pattern on it. We're going to go ahead and just take out, let's just see here. We're going to take out the top end here, all these top notes. And we're going to turn this into like a chord. So we're going to get like a little chord stab here. And then we're going to go, let's see here. We'll take this. Maybe we'll layer up like that. And let's just take out everything else, and we're just going to pretty much layer this up. So we took those chords and just sort of give a sort of a pad stab here at the top. I'm also going to pull these back actually. It's going to take out a little bit of the bass as well. Leave some more space for our 808 that we're ultimately going to bring in. All right, next let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And I'm going to copy down this pattern right over here. And we're going to add in some like atmosphere sort of, it's like an atmosphere sort of tonal background sort of noise, just to kind of make this a little bit more interesting. And for this, we're just going to take out all these chords here. Let's take out the rest. We'll just duplicate it. And we're just going to go from that to that. Let's just shorten this one up here. And I'm just going to layer up the sound. It's going to be nice and full, but really minimal sounding as well. All right, so for this sound over here, I'm going to go into another channel strip setting I've put together. I'm working on a Metro Boomin sort of pack here. And this sound is going to be in there, Metro Boomin sounds. And I'm going to bring in the Atmos pad I've created for this kit. And it's going to sound something like this. Sort of like this spooky, eerie vibe. Let's maybe pull that up one octave. Let's use that. But I may just pull up, cut out more of the low end, just focus on the high end of this sound. Go ahead and just focus on that. I'll bring the guitar. All right, so we're going to use that as a foundation. Let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And let's start bringing in some drums. Let's bring in Logic's EXS24 instrument. And let's go to our Jackboys drum kit. And we're going to make this nice and loud here. And I'm going to turn on mono because we're going to use that for the most part anyways. And let's start off, what are we going to start off with? Let's start off with a basic snare sound. So I'm going to go ahead and just try and find where that is here. Make this grid a little bit bigger. Here we go. We're going to use that perk sound as our snare. This does actually matter. I don't have to do that. Just going to just repeat that all the way through. So it'll be something like that. We're going to make this a little bit more wavy. We're going to bring back in that VHS sound and turn on the magic. Kind of makes it nice and wider. We'll add in some reverb as well. All right, next let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And let's go ahead and layer this up with a clap sound. So we're going to layer it up with a clap on the second part, but I didn't bring in the instruments. Let me just duplicate this, push this back up, and I'm going to take out this VHS. I think there's our clap. Just to layer up our clap there. All right, next let's go and duplicate this track, and let's bring in some hi-hats, give this some more of a vibe to it. Let's open that up. All right, so let's change this over to a brush tool, and I'm going to start off just putting in like a straight eighth note repeat. Just duplicate that over. duplicate it over here. Oh. All right, then we're going to do like a fast hit over here. Let's go to 30-second notes. Maybe I'll do a little bit slower. Let's go to a 16th triplet. Take that out. Maybe we'll double this up. So we put a triplet here. All right, that sounded a little bit cooler. Let's move on to the next bar. Once again, I'm going to remove the hats at the snare sound. No. Actually, I might just leave this here. Let's move on so we don't make this too long. And then we're going to take this out. And maybe we'll do like a crazy fast 64th triplet here to round out this one over here. So we get something like this. All right, next let's go over to our second pattern. And let's just delete this out. Maybe we'll copy this over, but we'll switch it up a little bit. Let's zoom on in here. Let's take this out so we have more room. And let's start off with our first bar. So I'm just going to make this a basic eighth repeat like that. And then we're going to switch up the second pattern here. Let's bring that out so it doesn't stop at every hit there. And let's just draw in another repeat over there. Move on. Put in another triplet over here. Put a 16th triplet. Oh. 16 triplet. There we go. And then we're going to do another 64 triplets over here. 64 triplet. And I think on my first one, I'm going to cut that in half as well. All right, so now we got the hi-hat. Sounds good like that. Next, let's go and duplicate this track and let's add in some open hats. I'm just going to change this back to a pencil tool. There it is right there. Maybe I'll take that one out. right, so there it is right there. Let's leave it like that. All right, next let's go ahead and duplicate this track. I'm going to add in a second snare here just to sort of offset the one we have there. I'm just gonna put that one hit over there just to kind of switch things up a bit. All right, next let's go ahead and duplicate this track, and let's bring in our kick here. Let's draw in some kicks. Let's see here where they are. All right, so there's our kick there. Work on the second half here. Don't want to do the same pattern throughout. I'll do something like this. All right, let's do something like that. Kind of switch things up a little bit. Just going to clean that up, so leave room for 808, which we're going to do right now. Duplicate that track, take out that channel EQ, and let's go ahead and draw in that 808 pattern. We'll sort of match that kick pattern over there, but kind of work off of that. Boom, we'll go up. Boom, boom, we'll go up. Just following the bass pattern of the melody. Do another one over there. We'll do like a double tap hit here. Kind of offset the kick over there. So it's going to be something like this. Make it louder. I'll just leave that on there. So there's like our nice chill vibe sound there. But we can't just loop that for the whole record. So what we're going to do here is we're going to duplicate this Travis Scott sound over here. We're going to copy it down and we're going to push this up 1 octave. So let's select them all, push up that entire melody up 1. All right, so it sounds good like that. Now because we push that up 1 octave, we're going to bring in another type of bass to layer up that low end for the switch up. So I'm going to create a new softer instrument track. And let's just put this here so it's nice and separate. We're going to go to Logic's ES2 synthesizer, and we're going to bring in the Drake Moog bass preset used in a lot of records. And we're just going to use that like that. And we're going to copy down this bass pattern over here. So it's going to go something like this. So this F, I want to go up instead, not down. And I'm just going to pitch this down 2 octave. Open up an EQ. I'm just going to cut out some of the lows. And I'm going to cut out some of the highs as well. Get that bass sound, that metro sound. It'll act as a nice switch up for us. And then I'm going to go ahead and create another softer instrument track here. We're going to copy down this melody pattern over here. And we're just going to take the top half here, I'm thinking. Bring this down. Take just these top notes here. And we're going to create a melody just out of that. And I'm thinking to use some sort of flute here to bring that in here. So let's see here. I'm going to go to here. And I'm going to bring in, let me see what I can find here. I might have a flute sound that I made for the Metro Boomin' Sounds kit. I'm going to use the Peruvian pipes here. And it's going to sound like this. All right, so that's nice. That's like a nice switch up over there that can kind of go from an A pattern to a B pattern. Yeah, I'm gonna add in this VHS thing again. See how it sounds. Add some verb, more verb. Let's turn on our static here. Gives it more of that old-timey sound. And I'm just going to copy that over to here. So you can hear that in the background. That's why I didn't want to leave it on the whole time. And we're just going to switch from sort of like an A pattern to a B pattern for this whole record. So we're going to go from this to this. And then we can just duplicate that once over once again. All right, so I did put a quick pause on the video. I just sort of mixed the sounds a little bit better. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Listen to the Jackboys type beat we just put together. Alright, so there is the Jackboys type beat right over there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. You can let me know in the comments below if you see this fitting on the record or not. If you do have any questions on this, you can ask me in the comment section below as well. And I definitely do recommend this Canary Julz MIDI Collection Volume 2 kit. If you're just looking for some inspiration to start a beat like we did here, it has a lot of really good melodies that you could use and apply to your music and productions. Royalty free. I'll place a link in the description box below this video. So that's it for me, guys. If you did like this video, remember thumbs up and share it. And of course, hit that subscribe button for more great videos like this one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Later. Peace.